We're going to start this movement practice with gentle stretching to wake up the body and bring some energy in. Keep in mind that all of these movements are meant to be done gently, without pushing and without discomfort. If it hurts, back off a little bit. It just means you've gone a bit too far. Make sure you keep breathing during all of these movements. Holding your breath will only block any energy from moving through your body. Your breath is the key to flowing through each movement. You'll notice David is starting with his hands placed just underneath his belly button and stands here for a few breaths at the beginning and also at the end of the movement sequence. The stomach point is known as the dantian, which is the energy center of our body. We're going to start with a gentle neck stretch. Start with your palms facing towards the sky and just let your head gently relax into the stretch either side, making sure you do both your left and your right sides. You can move your neck up and down. It gets different fibers of the neck muscles. And now rotate your arms around so the backs of your hands are facing your body and your palms are facing out, and repeat. And next we're going to do a gentle back and core stretch, looking up at the sky. You can place both of your hands on your low back, give you a bit of extra support, and then moving into hip rotations. Making sure your knees are not locked with a gentle bend, and doing both sides. You'll notice if you're tighter on one side than another. And now we're going to move to releasing some energy and tension in the wrists, especially if we spend a lot of time on computers. So put your hands into gentle fists and just moving your hands back and forth. And now with torso rotations, reaching up with your right arm down to your left leg and bringing your body around in a circle. And then repeating to the other side. Now we're going to move into ankle rotations. You might need to hang onto a chair or something solid for this. But just stand on one leg and rotating your opposite foot a few times in each direction. You might notice some clicking. That's completely normal. You're just feeling some energy moving into your feet and your ankles and your lower legs. And now we'll do some arm swings. If you've got any shoulder injuries, just use some caution here. We just want to get some movement flowing and some energy into the whole shoulder girdle. You do the swings forward and backwards. And if you can't do such big swings as David is doing, that's fine. And now we're going to move to doing what we call side-to-side arm swings. So keeping your knees gently bent. You're just going to swing your arms from side to side, but you're also putting a little bit of motion in your low back and your core with this as well. And don't hold your breath. Make sure you're still breathing when you're doing these exercises. And we're going to move to front to back arm swings. So every time you throw your arms back, make sure you exhale. And now we're going to move to the invigorating section of the movement practice. And just take your fists and loosely tapping on your back, your low back muscles. You're starting to wake things up. And then moving, and you can do the same thing gently on your stomach, moving all over your abdomen. You may find some tender spots, that's okay, just be gentle on them. And then moving up to the chest and your pec muscles, waking up your lungs. You can use an open hand or the tips of your fingers, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And making sure you get your sternum as well. That's the bone right above your heart. And now just do some gentle strokes to remove some of the energy that you've built up before moving on to invigorating the meridians down your arms. So you want to take your open hand and you're going to tap all the way down the back of your arm and then up the inside. So tapping down the back and up the inside. Getting your shoulder in there as well. And now we're going to tap down the outside of the legs and up the inside. You don't have to make this a very hard tap. This can be a very gentle one. David's been doing this a long time, so he taps a little harder. And then we're going to move into what we call knocking on the doors of life. This is great for invigorating the low back and the kidneys, especially if you do a lot of sitting. So making sure your knees are not locked, you're nice and relaxed, and just allowing the arms to swing from side to side. And then you can bring the front arm up to your chest and your shoulders while the back one is still knocking on your low back. You don't have to put a lot of force into this, it's really just letting your arms swing. And now we're going to move into the flow. This first movement is called pulling down the sky. And just keeping your arms relaxed and your hands relaxed. Breathing in on the way up and down, exhaling. We do this movement 3 times between each sequence. So you'll be very familiar with this by the end. And moving on to 2 hands, hold up the heavens, interlacing your fingers, and bringing your hands up to the sky, bending your knees, pushing your hands up again, bending your knees and pushing your hands up a second time. And now releasing them and pushing your hands palm out to the side. This movement activates the chi in the triple burner meridian and gets energy flowing for the rest of the practice. And now we're going to go back to pulling down the sky. I'm going to do this 3 times. Our next movement is called drawing the bow. So we want to take a wide horse stance. So your knees are bent and your feet are slightly wider than your body. This movement helps to strengthen the kidneys and waist area, and it also helps to strengthen the liver, the heart, and the lungs. And taking your left arm in a circle, bringing your left wrist back to your body, pushing your right hand out with the palm facing away for you, and repeating on the other side. You should feel a gentle stretch down your outstretched arm. And coming back to pulling down the sky. And we're going to repeat this 3 times again. This movement is wonderful for releasing tension and helping to calm the mind and the body. This next movement is called separating heaven and earth. Helps to regulate the spleen, the stomach, the liver, and also helps to regulate your digestion. This one stretches right along the heart meridian. And we'll move back to pulling down the sky. When you're performing this movement, you can just let your arms sort of float up. You don't need to actually move them forcefully. And this next movement is called the wise owl gazes backwards. You're going to place one foot behind you and do a gentle twist to that side. And then coming back to center and switching legs, twisting to the opposite side. Keeping the breath flowing. If you feel a gentle stretch in your back, that's a good thing. But just don't push it. This movement helps with flexibility, any ailments that are caused by emotional injury, helps to boost the kidneys, the lungs, liver, heart, and spleen. And back to pulling down the sky. This next movement is called two hands hold the feet. There's many variations, but you want to crouch down with both feet on the ground in a squat, and then coming up to putting your hands on your low back and reaching back towards the sky. This helps to strengthen the kidneys. And we're going to transition back to pulling down the sky. This is called Sway the Head, Shake the Tail. It helps to reduce excess heart energy and relaxes the lower body muscles. So you're in a wide horse stance again. And you're going to take your whole body and do a slight twist to one side and then to the other. I'm doing this movement a few times. This helps to reduce excess heart energy and relaxes the lower body muscles. So we're looking down underneath you and then forward before moving back to pulling down the sky. And now this is called bouncing on the toes. You literally want to just be on your tiptoes and dropping your heels down to the ground. This helps to dispel toxins and also strengthens the chi, and it integrates all the energies that you've cultivated during this practice. So we like to exhale as we drop our heels down, just letting our body relax and bounce with the movement. So every time your heels hit the ground, you exhale. And now back to pulling down the sky again. Another 3 repetitions. And our last movement is called punching with the eye of the tiger. So back to a wide horse stance with your knees bent. And we start off by punching our hands out, removing any negative thoughts or energies that we've cultivated. And then bringing in positivity, love, light, any positive thoughts or emotions you want to carry with you through the day. This movement enhances the full body chi and helps to lift the spirit. And bringing your hands back to the heart center and just standing for a moment, taking a few deep breaths. Just letting the buzz of the energy that you've just moved through your body come in. And another 3 last movements of pulling down the sky. As your final grounding. And then we're going to move to recentering practice. You're just bringing one arm up at a time, with your palm facing the opposite direction, and just bringing it down the midline of your body. This just helps to recenter both sides of our brain, both sides of our body, brings us back to wholeness. And now finishing by placing your hands back on your dantian and taking some beautiful, slow, gentle, deep breaths. Thank yourself for making the time to do this practice.